So what's up people, and welcome back to Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So this is part 2 of our Bolt Atlanta series. And if you recall, in our last episode we took care of the engine and basically all the stuff that was underneath the hood. And while I was offline, I took care of the wheels and the tires and a little bit with regards to the exhaust. So yeah, as you can see, the engine area looks really nice. So does the transmission. I put that back in. But what you can see, of course, is that the suspension looks awful. And that's because we haven't done anything with it yet. So this episode, what we will be doing is fixing the suspension. And then I think after that, next episode we'll be able to take care of the body. So let's just start right at it. Okay, so I took care of the wheels and the tires. I just didn't want to do them while we were filming because of the fact that it just takes a little bit of time to get all of that done. So I just wanted to focus on the suspension because the suspension alone does take a little bit of time to get everything done. So let's keep on going, get this suspension done, and then I think this car will be looking pretty darn good. Oops, yeah. Gotta take this stuff off first. Tie rods. You would think that after a while I would remember the order of how to take things off, but I still forget after a while. Luckily, we're still improving in our capabilities. I'm not any faster than the last video, but overall, it's not too bad. Oh, wait, I forgot. There's one more thing that I have to do. I keep on forgetting those, and if I don't do those, it'll be a problem later on. I gotta take these rubber bushings off. Okay, there we go. It's one of those things that they're so small that you forget about them, and then you're scratching your head wondering why you can't take that part off, and then you realize that it's because those rubber bushings are still in there. Okay, wow, these brakes are in terrible shape. Well, actually everything was in terrible shape, so it's not really surprising. I would be more surprised if they were like in pristine shape. Sitting in the barn for such a long time. But it'll be nice to get this fixed because I think if we can fix a lot of these parts, they'll come out looking pretty shiny like with everything else. You know, the engine was looking awful, and now it looks really nice. Now, one of these days, once I become experienced enough to how to do these things, I would like to start modifying these cars with performance parts. I know there was that downloadable content that gave you the ability to put performance parts in some of these cars. And I'm not sure if I want to do it with this one. I still want to try it out first. But yeah, I mean, one of these days, once I get a little bit more comfortable with this game, I want to start seeing if we could start making some pretty souped up cars. Okay, so the front suspension is off. And let's fix the front first all by itself, and then we'll do the back later. Okay, I think we're getting a lot of these things fixed, so I'm hoping that we have a lot of parts that are green now. Yeah, it's looking pretty good. Oh, I forgot to take apart the shock absorber thing. I forgot. I don't know what you call it. The springs and all that. So hopefully we'll get both of these. Yeah, they're in pretty bad shape. Okay. There we go. I wonder if we can fix any parts from there. Sorry, I kind of ran past the workshop. Okay, so Now I gotta go buy a bunch of parts as usual, so let me do that. Let me check the warehouse, but I'm gonna start gathering parts, and then once I got most of the stuff gathered, then let's put it back together again. Okay, so I think I got all the parts. I never can tell. I always forget a few parts, but hopefully I got all the parts. And, oh wait! I need to put the shock absorbers and springs back together again. So let me do that first. Just want to get all my parts ready so that we don't have to go through too much of any side work except putting everything back together. I think I got everything, so I'm hoping we don't get sidetracked by having to buy more parts. Okay, so here we go. Let's see if we can quickly put this back together, which is usually an impossibility when I'm doing the fixing, but let's see how fast we can do this anyway. Good, things are looking pretty good. Now I gotta put these rubber bushings back again, because if I forget again, then this car won't let me move forward with anything. It will be like, oh, you're missing a few parts, and I can't figure out what it is because it's like these tiny rubber bushings. So before I forget, I want to put those back in, because sometimes I spend like a seriously long time trying to figure out what the part is, and sometimes I have to take the entire car apart again just to find out that it's a rubber bushing. So I think I've done this, and I've been painstakingly having to remember those rubber bushings now that it's become kind of burnt into my brain. Always check the rubber bushings. Or else, you know, you'll end up having to do a lot of work, and then you end up feeling like, you know, that comment that, well, it was a Shao Tsung or whatever that guy's name is, said in Mortal Kombat, "You fool!" You know, you say that to yourself while you're trying to take the entire thing apart again just to put two rubber bushings in. Okay. We're moving along at a pretty good speed. And as always, you know, once this stuff becomes shiny and new, it looks a lot better. There we go. Okay, so let's put this side in now. There we go. Oh! Forgot one inner tie rod. Okay, so is it the inner tie rod, outer tie rod? I don't know. It's one of the tie rods. It's the straight one anyway. This one, inner tie rod. Okay, so I'll buy the outer tie rod too, just to make sure. I mean, it's not like I'll never use. Oh, it's a good thing I bought it too, because I don't think I had a green one of the outer tie rods either. If I get extra, it's not a big deal. We often use outer tie rods, so it's like I could put it into the warehouse and then keep it until my next service job. Okay, things are coming together pretty darn good, if I do say so myself, and I guess I am saying so myself. So kind of my trying to put this car together while I pat myself on the back with a job well done. Or at least I hope so. Yeah. Better make sure it is a job well done by putting these rubber bushings in again. Let me get the other one. Oh, yeah, there it is. There we go. We're almost done with the front. Okay, things are looking good. I really want to quickly get through this. I mean, it'll be nice to get this car done and then drive it around in the racetracks. I might go hog wild and see just what it happens if you just drive it like crazy, because I know these cars are indestructible once you fix them. And it'll be interesting to see just how crazy you could drive these cars around. Okay, front end is done. So now, I think we're okay. Nope, let me just check. Yeah, overall, with the exception of a few red items at the top, we're looking pretty darn good. I think all those question mark ones are the rear suspension. So yeah, we'll need to get going with that. Let me just make sure I don't have any green items here. No, I didn't. So I didn't have to buy any extra or accidentally buy extra items. Sorry. There we go. Okay, so that'll give me the ability to go take apart the rear suspension. I just want to make sure everything is okay, without having to worry about which parts do I need to buy now, because I mixed the front suspension with the rear. Okay, so the rears are drum brakes, eh? Well, it's an old car, so I would expect that. There we go. Well, this should go faster because the rear suspension is usually simpler. And again, we have more of these rubber bushings, so I do have to be careful about those. I think the rear ones, though, it won't let you complete the entire fix until the rubber bushings are in. Whereas the front one, it pretends like it lets you go and put all the tires in. And then later on, when you're trying to inspect the list of the car, there's like two red flags left. Like, you gotta fix a couple of more items and you can't figure out what they are. Here, I don't think it lets you finish unless you put the rubber bushings in. So I think the rear is a little bit easier. Oh! Yeah, fuel tank. Let's get rid of this, or let's replace that as well. I want most everything, basically, besides the body, all done by this episode. The next episode, we'll paint it, and then we'll test out the car, and then we'll sell it. And the reason I'm kind of rushing through this is because I really do want to get to that BMW bubble car, which is sitting in our parking lot still. That one's a keeper, so I want to see what that one's like. And it's the first mod car. It's one of those player developed cars, so it'll be interesting to see how that works. Okay, we're almost there. We're almost done. A few more parts to go. Okay, get that spring, the shock absorber, and then this differential, or whatever it is that they call that. Okay, let's fix this all up. I really like now that we have 95% probability in being able to fix these things. So let's see how we did. Okay, so we're looking good again. Okay, so I'm gonna go shopping again, which of course means that I'll fast forward and not have you have to endure the pain of me shopping around. Okay, so let me get the parts and then we'll get back to putting this all together. Okay, so I think we got everything, so let's start putting this all back together again. So, yeah, this game has been really well developed, you know. They make it, you know, complex enough that you feel like you've accomplished something, but they make it so intuitive that it's really not too difficult to really get into the game of quickly fixing all these cars. The frustration level for this game is relatively low because of the fact that it kind of guides you through this entire thing. And of course, if you do enough of these things, then it's almost kind of becomes habit to remember what all these things are. And you would think that you might get, you know, bored with doing a lot of these things, but just having the variety of different cars to work on is actually pretty nice. I wish they would actually improve on the driving part though. That would definitely be pretty cool. I mean, if you're going to be indestructible, then at least have a stunt car section where you can, you know, throw the car through really high levels and see what happens, you know, stuff like that. it might make it more unrealistic, and maybe that's why they don't want to do that. But it would be really cool if you could just take the car through an entire demolition course and see what happens, you know. Not having to worry about you getting killed or the car getting demolished. And in fact, you know, you could get like points if you do successfully able to do like a triple flip with your car, you know, off a ramp or something like that. If you do that, then you get a, you know, some sort of prize. I don't know if it's an extra part, you know, extra color. I have no idea, but that would be pretty cool. Or a prize that you could put in your, you know, a trophy that you could put in your garage or something like that. Just something to make the driving part more interesting. Okay, we're almost done here. There we go. And did we get everything? I think we got everything. Yeah, okay. Good. Okay, so I think we're done. I think we're actually done. Oh, I forgot the drive shaft. Okay, let me go get that. This should be relatively quick. It should be in the, I think, the gearbox section. There it is. Okay, so let's get a drive shaft. And let's put it in there. Now that we have the suspension and we don't have to worry about taking the drive shaft off each time. Okay. Okay, there. Now I think we're in good shape. Let's bring her down. And aside from the body panels and the interior, I think she's looking pretty darn good. Let's see. Yeah, I know. There we go. Yeah, look at that. Shiny, shiny. That's good. Okay. I really like some of the options that you could do, like looking into your car and all this. This is really cool. Okay, so I think in the next episode, I'll take care of the body panels and the interior and all this, and then we'll paint the car, we'll drive the car, and then we'll get rid of it. And we'll have more money to get more cars. Okay, so that's it for this video. Thank you very much. It was a relatively quick one, and I hope you enjoyed going through the suspension with me. And we'll keep on going with the Bolt Atlanta. We'll have one more part, and then I think we'll be finished with this series, and then we'll keep on going. If you have any comments, please post them in the comments section below, and hope you continue to join us in our continuous junk pile hunting adventures in Car Mechanic Simulator 2018. So until the next time, happy renovations, and as always, Jaya and I stay, everyone.